If you're always explaining what you're working on, you're probably not working enough. Because the ones who are truly locked in don't have time to convince anyone, they're too busy making it happen. The loudest person in the room usually has the least to show. Quiet achievers aren't chasing praise, they're building empires brick by brick. Stay committed in silence. When the world sees what you've built, they'll understand why you were quiet. What if staying quiet about your goals gave you the upper hand? What if the reason you're not getting results is because you're too busy explaining instead of executing? What if your need to be seen is the very thing slowing you down? In a world where everyone's shouting for attention, maybe the real power is in staying focused, staying low-key, and letting your results speak for you. This isn't about hiding. It's about building in peace and letting the winds make the noise. Too many people waste time posting, talking, and oversharing. But silence is where real growth happens. It's where discipline lives. If you've ever felt like you're doing the work, but not getting credit, maybe that's a good thing for now. Because when it's time to show up, you'll be 10 steps ahead. If you're ready to stop explaining and start evolving, then let's dive in. Chapter 1. Keep your goals private to build quiet strength. Most people live their lives shouting about what they want to do, what they plan to achieve, and who they want to become. It's common to see people sharing every little idea or ambition with friends, family, even strangers, hoping for encouragement or approval. But here's the hard truth. When you tell everyone your goals, you lose something very important, your power. That power comes from keeping your goals private, and it's the kind of power that builds strength silently, without anyone else seeing it until you're ready to reveal the results. When you guard your goals, you protect them from doubt, criticism, and distractions that can derail your progress. Think about how it feels when you share your dreams and people respond with skepticism or negative opinions. It hits you deeper than you expect. It causes hesitation, fear, even second-guessing. The energy you gave to explaining and defending your vision drains your motivation. But when your goals remain private, you keep your focus sharp. You don't waste time convincing others or defending yourself. Instead, you turn all that energy inward, feeding your determination and drive. This quiet strength you build is real and powerful. It's the kind of strength that lets you move forward when no one is watching, without needing validation or applause. Privacy around your goals is like a shield. It protects you from the noise of others' opinions and the pressure of outside expectations. When you don't broadcast your plans, you avoid the unnecessary weight that can crush your confidence. People can often react out of their own fears and limitations, projecting their doubts onto you. By keeping your goals to yourself, you create a safe space where your vision can grow without interruption. That space is fertile ground for persistence, discipline, and creativity. It's where you quietly develop the skills and habits that lead to success. There is also something very strategic about silence. When you don't reveal your goals, you keep your intentions clear and your mind uncluttered. You don't get caught up in explaining why you want something or how you will get it. You simply act. Action is the language of achievement. When you focus on doing rather than telling, you send a stronger message to yourself and the world. The work you put in becomes proof of your commitment. It's a reminder to yourself that your goal is real and you're serious about it. This self-reminder is powerful because it fuels confidence and resilience. When setbacks come, and they will, your quiet strength helps you keep going because you know your effort is unseen but growing. It's natural to want to share your dreams, especially with those closest to you. But sharing your goals too soon often leads to unnecessary pressure and distractions. The more people who know about your plans, the more opinions, doubts, and sometimes even sabotage can come your way. Some people might not mean harm, but they don't understand the commitment or the challenges you face. Their comments, even if well-intended, can create confusion or hesitation. When your goals are private, you avoid this confusion. You stay clear-headed and committed. You let your work be the only explanation needed. Keeping your goals private also builds mental toughness. You learn to trust yourself without needing constant approval or encouragement from others. This trust is the foundation of true confidence. When you rely on external validation, you risk losing your motivation if the praise stops. But when your strength comes from within, fueled by your own quiet progress, you become unstoppable. You develop a resilience that can face challenges head-on without flinching. This kind of mental toughness cannot be faked or borrowed. It must be earned through silent, consistent effort. Another important reason to keep your goals private is that it protects your energy. Energy is your most valuable resource. When you talk too much about what you plan to do, you often waste energy convincing others or defending yourself. That energy is better spent working on your goals. The people who truly matter, those who will celebrate your success, don't need to know every step along the way. They will see the results when you achieve them. You don't need to prove anything until the work speaks for itself. The journey of working quietly on your goals allows you to develop discipline. Discipline is the muscle that carries you through difficult days when motivation fades. It keeps you moving forward, one step at a time. When you keep your goals private, you create a personal environment where discipline thrives. There's no need to impress anyone or rush progress to meet others' expectations. You set your own pace and you hold yourself accountable. This level of accountability is more powerful than any external pressure because it comes from a deep desire to succeed, not from a need to look good in front of others. There is also a deeper emotional benefit in keeping your goals to yourself. It creates a sense of mystery and respect around your personal journey. People naturally pay attention to results more than words. When you quietly build your vision, others begin to wonder how you do it. This curiosity adds to your influence and respect. You become someone who inspires without needing to explain or justify your actions. Your success becomes a statement, a beacon that draws people in because it's real and undeniable. Every step you take quietly toward your goal is a step away from the noise and distraction of the world. You create a private zone where your dreams can breathe and grow without interruption. This zone is where your creativity can flow freely. Without constant external feedback or pressure, you're free to experiment, to fail, and to learn without fear. The mistakes you make in private become lessons that prepare you for success. There's no shame in failure when it's done in silence. It becomes a tool for growth rather than a public spectacle. Think about the people you admire. Many of them did not announce their plans loudly before achieving their success. They worked behind the scenes, day after day, building quietly and steadily. Their strength came from the patience to keep going, even when no one was watching. They avoided the trap of needing validation from others and instead found validation in their own progress. Chapter 2. Let your results speak louder than your words. Many people fall into the trap of talking more than doing. It feels good to explain your plans, your ideas, and your intentions because it makes you feel like you are moving forward. But the harsh reality is this: words alone don't create success. Words are cheap and easy. Anyone can say they want something or claim they will achieve great things. The true measure of a person's ability lies not in what they say, but in what they actually produce. Results carry weight because they are tangible proof of effort and commitment. When you focus on letting your results do the talking, you step into a position of undeniable credibility. The power of results is that they remove doubt. When people see consistent progress, they stop questioning your dedication or your capability. Words can be doubted, misinterpreted, or dismissed, but results are facts. They are real and visible. This kind of proof is what earns respect from others and builds your own confidence at the same time. Every achievement, no matter how small, is a step forward that shows you are serious. It's like a quiet announcement to the world that you are not just dreaming, but acting. People naturally listen more when you show, rather than tell. One of the most common struggles people face is the desire for recognition before they have something to show. It's easy to fall into the habit of sharing unfinished ideas or incomplete plans. Sometimes this happens because we want approval or reassurance. But this need for early recognition often leads to disappointment. When results are not there to back up the talk, others begin to lose faith in your words. Worse, you start doubting yourself. The focus should always be on building something solid before seeking attention. Letting your actions speak is the most powerful way to gain trust. When you prioritize results over words, you naturally develop a stronger work ethic. The shift from talking to doing forces you to get serious about your time and energy. You stop wasting precious moments crafting explanations or convincing others. Instead, every moment is dedicated to moving closer to your goal. This focus creates momentum. Once momentum builds, success becomes easier because effort compounds. Small victories build on each other until the results become too big to ignore. This cycle feeds your motivation, creating a positive feedback loop of achievement. The environment you create for yourself is critical. When you are a person who lets results speak, you create a space where distractions and negativity have less power. People who constantly talk about what they will do tend to invite opinions that can confuse or discourage them. By staying silent about your plans and focusing on outcomes, you avoid the noise. This clear environment allows you to concentrate fully on your work. It also protects your mental energy, helping you maintain clarity and resolve. You become less vulnerable to the influence of those who do not share your vision. Results also inspire others in a way words never can. People respect actions because actions require courage and effort. When you demonstrate your ability to get things done, you become a role model. This is important because inspiration drives more success. Your achievements become a beacon for others who want to improve their own lives. Instead of simply talking about what is possible, you show them what is possible. This kind of influence is far more effective than any speech or explanation. It builds a legacy of impact through example. There is a deep psychological effect when you let results lead the conversation. It boosts your self-esteem because your confidence grows from what you accomplish, not just what you hope to accomplish. This confidence becomes a foundation for taking on bigger challenges. When you trust your ability to produce, you become less afraid of failure. Each success, no matter how small, rewires your brain to expect progress. This expectation drives you forward with less resistance and more determination. Over time, this mindset becomes a key factor in your overall success. Another important aspect is the humility that comes with letting results speak. When you stop boasting about your plans and instead focus on working quietly, you avoid the trap of arrogance. Humility keeps you grounded and open to learning. It reminds you that success is earned, not claimed. This attitude attracts support and cooperation from others because people prefer to work with those who are genuine and hardworking. By showing rather than telling, you cultivate relationships based on respect and trust. When you rely on results, you also create accountability for yourself. Words are easy to say and forget, but results demand effort and consistency. If you want to see progress, you must put in the work day after day. This accountability is empowering because it puts control in your hands. You realize that your future depends on what you do, not on what you say. This sense of responsibility drives you to develop better habits, to manage your time wisely, and to push through challenges even when it is uncomfortable or difficult. It is important to understand that results do not always come quickly. Patience is part of the process. Sometimes your efforts might not show immediate payoff, but persistent action eventually leads to visible outcomes. When you focus on long-term results rather than short-term recognition, you build a foundation that lasts. This kind of perseverance is rare and valuable. It separates those who only talk from those who truly achieve. Success is rarely a sudden event. It is the result of consistent, patient work over time. In today's world, where social media encourages people to broadcast their intentions constantly, the value of quiet accomplishment stands out even more. Many people talk about what they want to do, but few actually deliver. This difference creates a gap between words and reality. When you close that gap with your own results, you distinguish yourself in a crowded space. Your achievements become undeniable evidence of your dedication. This makes your voice stronger because it is backed by proof, not promises. Results are also deeply personal. They show your growth and progress on your own terms. They tell a story of your effort, discipline, and resilience without needing explanation. This personal narrative builds your identity as someone who acts and delivers. It helps you develop a sense of pride that is authentic and earned. This pride motivates you to continue striving for improvement because it is rooted in real accomplishments. It becomes a cycle of growth fueled by the satisfaction of tangible progress. The relationship between words and results is a simple one. Words create expectations, but results fulfill them. When expectations are high but results are low, disappointment grows. But when you keep expectations to yourself and deliver real progress, you create trust and respect. This trust extends to your relationships, your career, and your personal development. People want to be around those who can follow through. Your success becomes a magnet for opportunities because it proves your capability. Chapter 3. Protect your vision by working in silence daily. One of the toughest challenges many people face is the struggle to keep their focus when working toward their dreams. The reality is that the world is full of distractions, critics, and opinions that can easily pull you away from your path. Most people lose momentum not because their goals were too hard, but because they shared too much too soon. When you protect your vision by working in silence every day, you guard your mind from these distractions and keep your energy where it matters most. The true power of silent work is that it builds a foundation no one can shake because it grows quietly, away from the noise. Working in silence means committing to your vision without announcing every step. This requires discipline and patience. It is not easy to hold your progress close and avoid the temptation to share every success or setback. But this quiet work is where your real strength develops. It is where your dreams move from ideas to reality through steady effort. Every day you invest focused energy in your goals. You add to a reserve of strength that carries you through the tough times. This kind of effort is invisible to most people, but it is what separates those who succeed from those who only dream. When you work in silence, you avoid the trap of seeking approval from others. It is natural to want encouragement, but external validation is unreliable and often short-lived. People's opinions can change quickly and are rarely aligned with your true potential. By keeping your efforts private, you learn to trust yourself more. You develop an internal compass that guides your decisions without needing constant reassurance. This self-reliance is critical because it empowers you to keep going even when no one else believes in your vision. Silence also protects your vision from the pressure of outside expectations. When you share your plans prematurely, you invite judgment and sometimes doubt. These reactions can weigh heavily on your motivation and cause hesitation. But when your work remains unseen, your goals are free to evolve naturally. You can adapt, improve, and adjust your approach without the fear of disappointing others. This freedom is invaluable because it lets you focus on what matters, steady progress. Your vision becomes yours alone, shaped by your own dedication rather than the influence of others. The discipline of daily silent work is like building a muscle. It grows stronger with consistent effort. Every time you choose to work quietly rather than talk, you reinforce your commitment. This daily practice creates habits that support long-term success. Habits are the backbone of achievement because they reduce the need for willpower. When your routine is focused and private, it becomes easier to stay on track through challenges. You are less likely to be distracted by the latest opinions, advice, or trends because your foundation is solid and personal. Protecting your vision in silence also sharpens your focus. Without the noise of sharing every detail or defending your plans, your mind stays clear and directed. This clarity helps you identify the most important tasks and avoid wasting time on things that do not move you forward. Working quietly encourages you to prioritize action over talk, which is the key to making real progress. The energy you save by not explaining yourself can be poured directly into your work, increasing both quality and efficiency. One of the most important reasons to work in silence is that it builds resilience. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable on the path to any meaningful goal. When your efforts are private, you learn to face these obstacles with grit and determination without the added stress of public scrutiny. You develop the ability to bounce back because your motivation comes from within, not from external praise or recognition. This inner strength is what keeps you moving when times are tough and others might give up. Working quietly each day also allows your vision to mature without interference. Ideas that seem fragile or uncertain in the beginning can grow into something powerful with time and effort. When you protect your vision from premature exposure, you give yourself room to experiment, fail, and learn without fear. This process is essential for creating a vision that is strong and realistic. Many people rush to share incomplete ideas and then become discouraged when they face criticism or obstacles. Silent work prevents this by giving your vision a chance to become clear and achievable. There is a deep satisfaction that comes from knowing you are building something meaningful on your own terms. When you protect your vision by working silently, you connect more deeply with your purpose. Your efforts become a private conversation between you and your goals. This intimacy with your work fuels passion and persistence because it feels personal and important. You don't need outside approval to know you are moving in the right direction. This internal connection is powerful because it motivates consistent action even when the results are not yet visible. The habit of silent daily work also teaches patience. In a world that values instant gratification, learning to wait for your efforts to pay off is a rare skill. Success often takes time to show itself, and the most lasting achievements are those built gradually. By protecting your vision and working quietly, you develop the ability to stay patient and persistent. You resist the urge to seek quick validation through sharing or boasting. This patience is a key ingredient to sustained success because it allows your vision to grow strong and enduring. When you work in silence, you create a sense of mystery and respect around your progress. People notice those who quietly excel without needing to announce their intentions. This kind of respect is earned because it is based on real achievement, not just talk. It also makes your success more impactful because it feels genuine and well-deserved. Others will naturally be drawn to your results and want to learn from you. This influence grows out of your consistent private efforts rather than from public declarations. Daily silent work is also an investment in your future self. The habits you develop today shape the person you become tomorrow. Each day you choose focus over distraction, action over explanation. You are building a version of yourself that is disciplined, capable, and confident. This investment pays off in ways that might not be immediately obvious, but become clear over time. The small victories and steady progress create a momentum that carries you forward toward your biggest goals. Finally, protecting your vision by working quietly each day is an act of respect for yourself. It shows that you value your goals enough to shield them from unnecessary noise. You honor your dreams by giving them the space to grow without interference. This respect builds your self-worth because you take responsibility for your success privately and seriously. It transforms your vision from a fragile hope into a solid reality. This kind of respect and responsibility is the foundation of lasting achievement and personal fulfillment. Chapter 4. Avoid unnecessary opinions that can derail your focus. One of the biggest challenges anyone faces when pursuing a goal is managing the flood of opinions that come from every direction. It seems natural to ask for advice or to share your plans, hoping for support. Yet most people underestimate how damaging unsolicited or unnecessary opinions can be to their focus and momentum. Opinions are like voices in your head that pull your attention away from your work. Every time you listen to doubt disguised as advice, you risk losing the clarity and confidence needed to keep pushing forward. The harsh truth is that many opinions are distractions, and not all of them come from people who truly understand your vision or your journey. When you expose your plans to too many voices, you open the door for confusion. Each opinion might come with a different perspective, creating conflict inside your mind. This internal conflict can lead to hesitation, second-guessing, or even abandoning a course of action entirely. The more voices you hear, the harder it becomes to distinguish what truly matters. This confusion drains mental energy and steals time from actually working on your goals. Focusing on your own path requires filtering out this noise and learning to trust your own judgment over the unsolicited input of others. The influence of unnecessary opinions is especially harmful because it can breed doubt where there was once belief. Doubt is a sneaky enemy that undermines motivation quietly. Even a well-meaning comment can plant seeds of uncertainty if you are not careful. Many people fail to recognize how easily their confidence can be shaken by listening to too many outside voices. This is why guarding your mental space is essential. Protect your focus like a valuable asset because it is the fuel that powers your progress. When your focus is strong, you are less vulnerable to distractions and setbacks. Opinions often reflect the fears and limitations of others rather than your true potential. People tend to judge what they do not understand or have not experienced. Their skepticism may come from their own disappointments or comfort zones. When you allow these opinions to influence your thinking, you are adopting someone else's limits as your own. This is dangerous because it cuts off possibilities before you even try. You must be vigilant in recognizing that many opinions are not about helping you, but about projecting someone else's fears. Your vision deserves better than that kind of interference. Avoiding unnecessary opinions also means choosing carefully whose advice you seek. Not all feedback is created equal. Trusted mentors, experienced professionals, or those who have walked a similar path can provide valuable insight. But even then, advice should be taken with discernment and applied thoughtfully. The key is to listen selectively and filter out anything that does not align with your values and goals. This selective hearing protects your focus and allows you to use feedback as a tool for improvement rather than a source of distraction. Maintaining focus requires strong boundaries. These boundaries protect your time, energy, and mental clarity. When you share your plans with people who are prone to negativity or criticism, you risk losing momentum. Negative comments can chip away at your enthusiasm and make you question your choices unnecessarily. It is important to recognize when an opinion is not constructive but simply an attempt to pull you off course. Learning to say no or to ignore such voices is a sign of strength and maturity. Your goals deserve that kind of protection. The battle for focus is also fought within your own mind. Sometimes unnecessary opinions become internalized as self-doubt. The more you listen to external negativity, the louder your inner critic becomes. This internal noise can be paralyzing. It causes procrastination, indecision, and sometimes complete abandonment of dreams. Protecting your focus means actively managing your inner dialogue as well. Replace doubt with affirmations based on your actions and past successes. When your mind is clear and confident, unnecessary opinions have no power over you. Focus requires persistence through challenges and distractions. It demands a single-minded commitment to the work, no matter what others say. Every successful person has faced criticism and doubt from those around them. What sets them apart is their ability to stay centered and not let those opinions derail their efforts. This kind of mental toughness is developed over time by guarding your attention and refusing to give weight to distractions. The more you practice this, the stronger your focus becomes and the more progress you make. Another important aspect of avoiding unnecessary opinions is understanding that your journey is unique. No one else can walk in your shoes or fully grasp your vision. This uniqueness means that what works for others might not work for you. When you listen too much to external opinions, you risk losing sight of what feels right for you personally. Staying true to your own path requires confidence in your intuition and willingness to chart your own course. This personal alignment is crucial for sustained motivation and success. When your focus remains sharp and undiluted, your work becomes more effective. You waste less time doubting or justifying yourself and more time taking meaningful steps forward. This efficiency builds momentum and opens doors to opportunities you might otherwise miss. Clear focus allows you to see possibilities more clearly and take advantage of them with confidence. It also builds resilience because you are less shaken by setbacks or distractions. Your energy is preserved for action, not wasted on unnecessary worry. Unnecessary opinions also often lead to comparison, which is a dangerous trap. When you listen to others' judgments, you might start measuring your progress against theirs instead of your own goals. This comparison can lead to discouragement or false pressure to move faster or differently. Your journey has its own timeline, pace, and path. Focusing on your unique progress, free from outside interference, is essential for building authentic success. When you stop comparing, you free yourself to grow in your own way and at your own speed. Avoiding unnecessary opinions helps you build stronger self-trust. The more you rely on your own judgment and experience, the more confident you become. Self-trust is the foundation of all personal growth because it allows you to act decisively and learn from your own mistakes. When you no longer depend on constant approval or advice, your decisions become clearer and your actions more powerful. This autonomy creates freedom in your work and life, allowing you to create results that reflect your true vision. Finally, protecting your focus by avoiding distractions from unnecessary opinions is an act of self-respect. It shows that you value your time, energy, and dreams enough to guard them carefully. It is a commitment to yourself that your goals matter more than the noise around you. This respect empowers you to create boundaries that support your growth and well-being. When you honor your focus, you build a life that reflects your deepest desires and highest potential. This commitment is what transforms dreams into reality and makes success truly yours. Chapter 5. Build mystery to increase your personal influence quietly. It is a reality that many people live in a world where sharing everything about themselves has become a habit. Social media encourages constant updates, and conversations often revolve around explaining who you are and what you do. Yet in this oversharing, something valuable gets lost: mystery. The truth is that mystery holds power. When you build an aura of mystery around your work and your progress, you tap into a deep human attraction. People naturally become curious about what you are doing and want to know more. This curiosity creates influence quietly, without you having to push or explain endlessly. It is one of the most effective ways to grow your personal presence and impact. When you reveal everything about your goals or daily routines, you leave little to the imagination. People quickly form opinions, and often those opinions are incomplete or biased. Mystery creates space for others to wonder, question, and respect what you are about. This respect is different from the one you get from showing off or announcing your plans loudly. It is deeper and more lasting because it is built on genuine intrigue. People who carry an air of mystery do not need to convince others. Their presence naturally commands attention. This is because mystery signals confidence and self-control. Building mystery is not about being secretive or dishonest. It is about being intentional with what you share and when. It means protecting your progress and your vision by not broadcasting every detail to everyone. You decide what is necessary to share and what is better kept private. This choice itself is powerful because it shows that you value your work enough to guard it from premature exposure. When you manage your information carefully, you control the narrative around your success rather than letting others define it for you. People are drawn to those who do not reveal everything at once. This selective sharing makes interactions more meaningful. When you share only parts of your journey, you create an opportunity for deeper conversations later. Others will seek to understand and learn from you, which increases your influence quietly. You do not need to force attention because the natural curiosity you spark will do that work for you. Mystery makes you more memorable and respected because it leaves a lasting impression that words alone cannot create. Another reason mystery builds influence is that it protects you from premature criticism. When you reveal your ideas or plans too soon, you expose yourself to judgment that can slow or stop your momentum. Critics and naysayers are quick to respond, often before you have had a chance to fully develop your vision. Keeping your work under the radar until it is ready shields you from these interruptions. This protection allows your efforts to grow stronger and more refined. By the time you choose to share, your results will speak louder than any opinion. Mystery also enhances your ability to surprise others with your achievements. There is a special power in revealing success after steady, quiet work. When people see your results without prior hype, they are more impressed and inspired. This kind of impact is genuine because it is based on real accomplishment, not empty promises or announcements. The element of surprise makes your success more credible and influential, and it draws others toward you naturally. Personal influence built on mystery is sustainable. It does not rely on constant updates, likes, or approval. Instead, it grows from the substance of your work and the respect you command by controlling your story. This influence allows you to lead quietly but effectively. People will look to you as someone who gets things done without needing to explain or boast. Your presence becomes a powerful force that opens doors and creates opportunities. This kind of influence changes the way people respond to you in all areas of life. When you cultivate mystery, you also develop stronger emotional control. It is easy to get caught up in the need for validation or recognition when you share too much. Mystery helps you break free from this trap by shifting your focus back to your work and your purpose. You learn to value your own approval above others and to find satisfaction in progress itself. This emotional maturity strengthens your resilience and helps you stay consistent even when outside support is lacking. Building mystery requires patience and confidence. You must trust that your work will speak for itself when the time is right. This trust comes from knowing that steady effort and focus always pay off. You resist the urge to rush or seek early praise because you understand the power of timing. Waiting until your vision is clear and your achievements are solid increases your credibility and impact. Patience in revealing your progress is a strategic choice that builds lasting success. Mystery also invites others to invest in your story. When people are curious, they become more engaged and interested in your journey. This engagement can lead to meaningful relationships, collaborations, and support. By controlling the pace and depth of your sharing, you encourage others to pay attention and appreciate your work on a deeper level. This kind of connection is more valuable than surface-level attention because it is built on genuine interest and respect. In addition, mystery allows you to avoid distractions that come from too much exposure. When your plans and progress are constantly public, you risk getting pulled into unnecessary debates, comparisons, or distractions. These interruptions can derail your focus and energy. By keeping your work quiet and purposeful, you protect your time and mental space for what truly matters. This discipline creates a fertile environment for growth and achievement. People who build influence through mystery often stand out because they are different from the crowd. In a culture that encourages oversharing, choosing silence and discretion sets you apart. This uniqueness adds to your appeal and creates a sense of professionalism and seriousness. It signals that you are someone who respects your own work and expects others to do the same. This respect enhances your reputation and builds trust among peers and potential partners. Ultimately, mystery is a tool for empowering yourself. It gives you control over how and when you reveal your capabilities and progress. This control builds confidence and reduces the stress that comes from constant exposure or judgment. It allows you to create a strong foundation for your success that is not dependent on external approval. Instead, your influence grows from the quiet strength of your consistent efforts and the thoughtful way you share your story. By building mystery, you create space for your potential to unfold naturally. You protect your vision from premature exposure and criticism while inviting genuine curiosity. This balance increases your personal influence without forcing it. It strengthens your emotional resilience and sharpens your focus. Mystery becomes a strategic advantage that sets you apart and helps you move toward your goals with confidence and dignity. It is a powerful way to lead quietly and let your success do the talking. Chapter 6. Use action as your only form of explanation. Too many people spend time trying to explain themselves and their efforts instead of focusing on what truly matters, the work itself. There is a common trap where the need to justify or talk about what you are doing steals time and energy that should be devoted to action. The reality is that words alone cannot prove your value or success. Only your actions can do that. When you depend on explaining yourself, you leave your progress vulnerable to doubt, misunderstanding, and distraction. Taking action without needing to explain shows confidence and clarity of purpose. It signals that your results will speak louder than any conversation. Actions create undeniable proof. They show others what you are capable of without the need for lengthy discussions or defenses. When you consistently act toward your goals, you build momentum that no amount of explanation can replace. People begin to notice what you accomplish rather than what you say you want to do. This shift from talking to doing changes the way others perceive you. They begin to trust your capabilities because they see evidence rather than promises. Action builds credibility that words alone cannot establish. Relying on explanation can sometimes indicate uncertainty. When you feel the need to constantly describe your plans or efforts, it may be because you are not fully committed or confident in your direction. Action removes this doubt. It requires you to focus on producing real progress. Moving forward with purposeful steps means you trust the process and the results will come. This mindset strengthens your discipline and reduces the temptation to seek approval before you deliver. Action is the language of commitment. There is also a danger in explaining too much because it gives others the opportunity to criticize or discourage you prematurely. When you reveal every detail, you expose yourself to opinions that might shake your confidence or mislead you. Action protects you from this because it minimizes unnecessary conversations and keeps the focus on what you are building. It helps you maintain your course without getting pulled into debates or distractions. Consistent work done quietly builds a solid foundation that withstands outside noise. Action encourages learning and growth more effectively than words. When you act, you face real challenges and gather experience. These experiences teach lessons that talking about your goals never can. Every step forward refines your skills and strengthens your understanding of what it takes to succeed. This practical knowledge becomes your greatest advantage. It equips you to handle obstacles and adapt to change. Explanation alone does not produce this kind of growth. It only happens through doing. Moreover, action inspires others more than any explanation ever will. People admire those who show up and get things done. They are drawn to the energy and momentum created by consistent effort. This inspiration creates influence quietly but powerfully. When your actions align with your values and vision, you become a role model without needing to tell others why or how. Your example encourages those around you to take their own steps forward. This ripple effect is a testament to the power of action over explanation. Using action as your only explanation also builds resilience. When you stop talking about your plans and start executing them, you accept that setbacks and failures are part of the process. You learn to keep moving, even when results are not immediate or obvious. This perseverance develops strength and confidence. You understand that success is built through patience and steady effort rather than fast answers or justifications. Action keeps you focused on what matters, not on what others think or say. It is important to recognize that explaining yourself does have a place, but it should come after you have something concrete to show. Early explanations can be premature and ineffective. Instead, prioritize doing the work first. Let your progress be the explanation. When you finally choose to share, your words will carry weight because they are backed by experience and achievement. This approach increases your credibility and reduces the risk of misunderstandings or skepticism. Action also sharpens your focus and simplifies your priorities. When you commit to showing rather than telling, you are less likely to be distracted by irrelevant opinions or unnecessary conversations. You concentrate your energy on meaningful tasks that directly contribute to your goals. This clear focus accelerates your growth and brings results faster. Without the burden of constant explanation, your mind and spirit remain free to pursue your vision with greater clarity and determination. When people see that you act instead of just talk, they respect you more. This respect opens doors to opportunities that might otherwise remain closed. People want to associate with those who deliver, rather than those who only talk about delivery. Your actions communicate reliability and professionalism. They demonstrate that you are someone who can be trusted to follow through. This trust builds relationships that support your success, both personally and professionally. Living by action also cultivates humility. When you stop seeking validation through explanations, you learn to appreciate the quiet satisfaction of progress. You become less concerned with external approval and more focused on your own standards. This humility makes you approachable and genuine. It attracts people who value substance over show. Your influence grows because of who you are and what you do, not because of what you say. Lastly, action fuels confidence from within. Every step you take toward your goals strengthens your belief in yourself. This confidence becomes a self-reinforcing cycle. As you see the results of your effort, you feel motivated to keep going. The need for external explanation fades because your internal conviction grows. You learn that your best explanation is the progress you make and the changes you create in your life. This powerful realization transforms how you approach challenges and opportunities. Choosing to let action be your only form of explanation is a mindset that frees you from the distractions of doubt and judgment. It centers your energy on what truly matters. It builds a legacy of real accomplishments rather than empty promises. It increases your influence quietly through undeniable proof rather than loud words. This principle creates a path to success that is steady, resilient, and deeply fulfilling. When action leads the way, everything else falls into place naturally. Chapter 7. Maintain discipline without broadcasting your intentions online. Most people face a tough reality today. They live in a world filled with constant noise from social media and online platforms. Everyone seems eager to announce what they plan to do, what they hope to achieve, and what their next big move is. This endless sharing can feel like a pressure to perform in public before even starting the work. Yet the truth is, discipline is a deeply personal and private battle. It does not require an audience to be effective. Relying on broadcasting intentions online often weakens your commitment instead of strengthening it. Real discipline happens quietly, away from the glare of public opinion and the temptation of outside validation. Posting plans and goals online can create a false sense of accomplishment. Telling others what you intend to do might give a momentary boost of encouragement or likes, but it rarely translates into action. When your focus is on gathering approval or building an image, your energy is diverted from the real task at hand. Discipline demands attention and effort, not applause. When you keep your intentions private, you direct all your strength inward. You no longer depend on the reactions of others to keep moving forward. Your motivation becomes internal and self-sustained. Online sharing also exposes your progress to distractions and interruptions. Once your goals are public, unsolicited advice, criticism, or doubt can enter your space. These external voices can erode your confidence and cloud your judgment. Discipline requires clarity and a steady mind. It is hard to maintain focus when you are constantly responding to opinions or defending your choices. Working quietly protects you from these interruptions. It allows you to create an environment where discipline can thrive uninterrupted by noise or drama. When you choose not to broadcast your intentions, you create space for patience. Many people rush to share every step they take, expecting immediate results or feedback. This impatience undermines discipline because true growth takes time. Quiet dedication means accepting that success is not instant and that progress often happens behind the scenes. Patience strengthens your resolve because you learn to trust the process without needing constant reassurance from others. Discipline flourishes when you embrace the long journey without feeling the need to announce every milestone. Keeping your discipline private also sharpens your sense of responsibility. When your work is for yourself and not for public consumption, you develop accountability based on your values rather than external pressure. This internal accountability is more powerful and lasting. It teaches you to rely on your own standards and integrity. You learn to push yourself even when no one else is watching. This self-driven discipline builds character and resilience that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. There is a common misconception that sharing your goals online builds commitment. Many believe that by telling the world, they will feel obligated to follow through. However, this can backfire. Sometimes, once a goal is announced, the excitement and recognition act as a substitute for actual effort. The public declaration gives a premature sense of achievement that slows progress. Real commitment is proven by consistent effort and results over time. Discipline grows from action, not announcements. Choosing to keep your intentions private fosters a deeper connection with your purpose. Without the noise of online chatter, you can reflect more honestly on why your goals matter to you. This clarity makes your discipline more meaningful. It becomes a practice of self-respect rather than a performance for others. When your motivation is rooted in your own values, you are less likely to be swayed by external trends or opinions. Discipline becomes a stable foundation rather than a fragile image. Working quietly also builds humility. When you are not seeking praise or attention, you develop a humble attitude toward your progress. You learn to appreciate the small victories and daily efforts that lead to success. This humility makes your achievements more satisfying because they are earned through dedication, not popularity. It prepares you for greater challenges because your confidence is based on real work rather than validation from others. Discipline without broadcasting requires courage. It means resisting the temptation to show off or seek approval. It demands trust in yourself and your process, even when no one else is watching. This courage strengthens over time as you see the results of your quiet commitment. It becomes a source of pride that fuels further effort. This inner strength is more durable and empowering than any external recognition. Another important benefit of maintaining discipline privately is that it protects your focus. When your goals are kept to yourself, you are less likely to be distracted by the opinions or judgments of others. This focused mindset allows you to concentrate on what truly matters. Your energy is used to create and improve, not to explain or justify. This focused energy produces faster progress and deeper satisfaction. This approach also encourages consistency. Discipline is built through repeated actions over time. Without the pressure to constantly update others on your progress, you can maintain a steady rhythm that supports growth. Consistency grows from habits, not headlines. By working silently, you create habits that become second nature. These habits carry you through difficult moments and keep you moving toward your vision. Ultimately, discipline is a personal journey that is strengthened by privacy and silence. When you stop broadcasting your intentions online, you take control of your own path. You protect your focus, build internal motivation, and develop resilience. This quiet power transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. It is a lesson that success is not a public show, but a private commitment to excellence. This mindset changes how you approach your goals and your life. Chapter 8. Focus energy on doing, not explaining to others. Life often feels like a race to explain ourselves to everyone around us. The need to justify why we do what we do can be overwhelming. Many spend more time talking about their plans and intentions than actually doing the work required. This constant explanation drains energy and creates unnecessary distractions. The truth is that real progress comes from action, not from talking about action. When you focus your energy on doing instead of explaining, you put yourself in control of your own story. You stop letting others dictate your pace or question your choices. The urge to explain is often driven by a desire to be understood or accepted. People want approval from friends, family, or colleagues. But this approval is rarely earned through words alone. It is earned through results and consistency. Every moment spent explaining your reasons or defending your decisions is a moment taken away from effort. This is energy that could be invested in moving forward. There is a clear difference between communicating your goals to necessary supporters and trying to convince everyone else. Choose carefully where your energy goes. When you focus on doing, you build a quiet confidence that speaks louder than words. Actions reveal your commitment and character in a way that explanations never can. People notice results before they notice your reasons. This silent form of communication builds respect. It makes your work credible and your progress undeniable. Trying to explain every detail to others often feels like defending your dreams, which can weaken your confidence. Acting without explaining builds strength and self-trust. Energy spent on explanations is often wasted on those who do not support your vision. Not everyone will understand your path or your timing. Trying to make everyone see your perspective can lead to frustration and doubt. Your job is not to convince skeptics, but to prove your dedication through steady work. When your focus is on action, you become less affected by criticism or misunderstanding. This protects your motivation and keeps your spirit intact. Explanations can also create pressure that is counterproductive. When you tell others about your plans, you may feel obligated to meet expectations prematurely. This pressure can cause anxiety or rushed decisions. The need to live up to what you said can lead to stress rather than steady progress. Keeping your energy on doing frees you from this pressure. It allows you to work at your own pace and trust the process without the weight of outside expectations. Doing without explaining requires discipline and patience. It means accepting that not everyone will be aware of your efforts until the time is right. This patience is a sign of maturity. It shows that you understand success is built over time. You do not need constant approval or recognition to stay motivated. Instead, you learn to value the quiet progress that others may not yet see. This steady momentum is more powerful than any amount of explanation or persuasion. Focusing on doing also sharpens your decision-making. When you spend less time talking and more time acting, you become clearer about what really matters. You develop a sharper sense of priorities because your energy is limited. This clarity helps you avoid distractions and stay on track. Explaining can sometimes lead to second-guessing or overthinking. Action forces you to make choices and learn from experience. This learning is the foundation of growth. There is also a deep satisfaction that comes from doing without needing to explain. When your progress is your own, you experience a sense of accomplishment that is genuine and self-earned. This feeling is different from receiving praise or recognition. It is an internal reward that strengthens your will to continue. This satisfaction builds resilience because it is not dependent on outside validation. It becomes a source of motivation that keeps you moving forward even when others are silent. By focusing on action, you also develop better communication skills over time. When results show up, you can share your story with clarity and conviction. These stories become powerful because they are backed by real experience. People listen differently when you speak from a place of accomplishment. Your words carry weight because they are connected to tangible outcomes. This kind of communication inspires others and opens doors that empty explanations never will. Another important aspect is that focusing on doing helps you manage your energy wisely. Life offers many demands and distractions. When you spend energy explaining, you give away your most precious resource. Concentrating on action means protecting your energy for what truly matters. It creates a habit of efficiency where effort and focus align with your goals. This alignment is crucial for long-term success and well-being. At times, it may feel lonely to focus on doing without sharing every step. But this solitude is part of the process. Quiet work builds inner strength and self-reliance. It teaches you to trust yourself and your vision, even when no one else does. This trust becomes a foundation that carries you through setbacks and challenges. The ability to work without constant explanation is a sign of true leadership and maturity. It is also important to remember that action is contagious. When you focus on doing, you inspire others around you without saying a word. Your example encourages people to step up and take their own steps. This kind of influence is far more powerful than words alone. It creates a ripple effect that extends beyond your immediate circle. By acting with focus and dedication, you contribute to a culture of productivity and growth. The habit of doing instead of explaining also helps you develop humility. It reminds you that success is not about seeking attention, but about fulfilling your purpose. Humility keeps you grounded and open to learning. It prevents arrogance and complacency that can come from talking too much about what you plan to do. When your energy is on action, you remain connected to the work itself rather than the applause. Ultimately, shifting focus from explaining to doing is a transformative mindset. It changes how you approach your goals and your life. It builds resilience, clarity, and quiet confidence. It frees you from distractions and external pressures. This shift empowers you to take control of your journey with strength and integrity. The work you do in silence has the power to change your future far more than any words you could say. Chapter 9. Master skills silently and let success reveal them. It is common to feel pressured to prove your abilities before you have truly mastered them. Many people rush to show off what they can do, hoping others will recognize their talent early. This approach often leads to mistakes, distractions, and unnecessary stress. The reality is that true skill is developed in quiet, focused effort away from the spotlight. Mastering a skill takes time, patience, and persistence. It requires working when no one is watching and pushing through challenges without applause. When you keep your learning private and practice in silence, you create a solid foundation that is not easily shaken by external noise. Most people underestimate the power of quiet mastery. They think that sharing their progress constantly will bring encouragement or faster results. Instead, what happens is that they expose their weaknesses too soon. This can attract criticism and lower their confidence. Learning in private protects you from premature judgment and preserves your motivation. It allows you to focus solely on improvement rather than seeking approval. Your energy stays dedicated to growing your abilities instead of defending your efforts. The process of mastering skills silently is often lonely and demanding. It requires discipline to show up every day and put in the work without immediate feedback or recognition. The frustration of slow progress can tempt you to give up or seek external validation. But this discomfort is part of growth. It strengthens your resolve and teaches you resilience. By embracing the quiet grind, you build a depth of knowledge and competence that others only see when you finally reveal your work through success. When you practice quietly, you avoid distractions and stay focused on what truly matters. There is less temptation to compare yourself with others or get caught up in opinions. You become more aware of your own pace and learning style. This self-awareness leads to more efficient progress and less burnout. You learn to trust your own judgment and celebrate small wins privately. This habit nurtures confidence that is grounded in real ability rather than external praise. Success that comes from silent mastery carries more meaning and impact. It is a reflection of consistent effort and skill honed over time. When your abilities speak for themselves, people respect the authenticity behind your achievements. There is no need to boast or explain, because your results make a statement that words cannot. This kind of success builds credibility and influence that lasts. It opens doors naturally without the need for constant self-promotion. In addition to building personal strength, mastering skills quietly improves your ability to handle challenges. When problems arise, you are better prepared because your knowledge is deep and tested. You do not rely on quick fixes or surface-level understanding. This preparation allows you to solve issues confidently and creatively. Others notice your calmness and effectiveness in difficult situations. These qualities make you a valuable resource and trusted leader. It is also important to recognize that skills mastered in silence grow into habits that support lifelong learning. The discipline of focused practice becomes a pattern that carries over into other areas of life. You develop patience, attention to detail, and perseverance. These traits enrich your character and enable you to face future goals with greater ease. The ability to learn quietly is a skill in itself, one that can transform your approach to any challenge. Many successful people share a common trait. They did not announce their plans or talents early. They worked in the background, refining their craft until the right moment to reveal it. This strategy allowed them to avoid unnecessary pressure and distractions. It gave them space to make mistakes and learn without fear of failure. Their eventual success felt earned and powerful because it was built on a foundation of silent dedication. It is natural to want recognition as you develop your skills, but premature exposure often leads to impatience and disappointment. Learning to delay sharing your progress is a form of maturity. It means valuing the process more than immediate approval. This mindset shift keeps your focus where it belongs, on becoming better rather than being seen as better. It allows you to develop humility alongside expertise. When you master skills silently, you become less dependent on external validation. Your self-worth becomes tied to your effort and improvement rather than other people's opinions. This independence fosters inner peace and confidence. It frees you from the need to compare yourself with others or compete for attention. Instead, you measure success by your own growth and satisfaction. Quiet mastery also encourages creativity. When you work away from public scrutiny, you feel freer to experiment and explore new ideas. There is less fear of judgment or failure. This freedom leads to innovation and original thinking. You develop unique strengths that differentiate you from others. Your skills become not just competent, but exceptional. Eventually, your success reveals your mastery without the need for announcements. People recognize your abilities through the results you deliver and the impact you make. Your reputation grows naturally as a skilled and reliable individual. This kind of recognition is more fulfilling because it is earned rather than claimed. It builds a lasting legacy of excellence. The journey to mastery is not easy, but it is worth every moment of quiet effort. Every hour spent practicing in solitude strengthens your skills and your character. You become someone who can be trusted to deliver results and handle challenges with grace. This transformation happens in the background, away from the spotlight. When the time is right, your success will shine brightly, revealing the depth of your dedication and skill. Choosing to master skills silently means embracing the value of patience, focus, and humility. It means understanding that true excellence is built over time, not announced prematurely. This path is for those willing to work hard and wait for their moment to show what they have truly become. It is a powerful way to grow that leads to success that speaks for itself. Chapter 10. Eliminate excuses and face your responsibilities with full ownership. Most people know what they need to do, but they do not do it. They delay, they deny, they distract themselves with trivial things. They lie to themselves about their readiness or their circumstances. The truth is, they are not stuck because of a lack of opportunity. They are stuck because they have not yet taken full ownership of their responsibilities. This is the hard truth most people avoid. They make excuses because it is easier to explain failure than to face the weight of responsibility. Excuses are comfortable. They allow you to shift the blame onto anything other than yourself. You blame your parents. You blame your job. You blame your lack of time or energy. You blame the economy. You even blame your past. But every time you give an excuse, you surrender your power. You give away your control. You tell yourself a story that keeps you small. And as long as you keep repeating that story, you will stay exactly where you are. Most people do not fail because they are incapable. They fail because they are unwilling to take responsibility for what needs to be done. They wait for motivation instead of building discipline. They wait for the right mood instead of creating the right habits. They wait for circumstances to change when what really needs to change is their level of ownership. If your life is not where you want it to be, then it is your job to fix it. No one else is coming to rescue you. No one else owes you anything. That is reality. And until you accept it, you will keep spinning in circles. Facing your responsibilities means accepting that your actions shape your outcomes. It means taking an honest inventory of how you spend your time, your energy, and your attention. It means admitting when you are wrong and learning from it instead of hiding behind pride. It means waking up and doing the work even when no one is watching, even when you are tired, even when you do not feel like it. That is what it means to be responsible. That is what it takes to grow. Eliminating excuses is not about being perfect. It is about being honest. It is about recognizing the gap between what you say and what you do. If you say you want to be great, then your actions must reflect that. If you say you want to change, then your choices must align with that change. Words are easy. Anyone can say the right things, but only those who take ownership back those words with action. The moment you stop making excuses is the moment you start building real strength. Because now you are no longer at the mercy of your circumstances. You are no longer a victim. You are in charge. You are responsible. That is when progress begins. That is when your mindset shifts from passive to active, from weak to strong, from wishful to determined. This mindset is rare. Most people want to feel good more than they want to get better. They want approval more than they want results. They want sympathy more than they want solutions. That is why they remain stuck. Because they choose comfort over change. But comfort is a trap. It tricks you into believing that everything is fine when it is not. It tells you to relax when you need to rise. It convinces you to wait when you should be moving. If you want to break free from that trap, you must hold yourself to a higher standard. You must stop letting yourself off the hook. You must stop rationalizing laziness as self-care. You must stop pretending that tomorrow will be any different if you do not change today. You must look in the mirror and say, "This is my life, and I am responsible for what I do with it." Real ownership does not blame. It builds. It says, "I may not have caused this problem, but I will be the one to solve it." It says, "I may not feel ready, but I will show up anyway." It says, "I will not let fear or failure or frustration stop me. I will keep going because that is what responsibility looks like. That is what leadership looks like. That is what growth demands." This is not a one-time decision. This is a daily commitment. Every day, life will give you reasons to make excuses. Every day, you will face moments when it would be easier to quit. Every day, you will be tempted to lower your standards or blame something else. And every day, you will have a choice. You can stay the same or you can rise above. You can remain a prisoner of your excuses or you can walk the path of personal ownership. Start small. Begin by catching yourself when you make excuses. Notice the words you use. Pay attention to when you shift blame. Then stop. Replace the excuse with a commitment. Replace the blame with action. If you say you do not have time, then track your time honestly. If you say you are too tired, then improve your habits. If you say you cannot change, then challenge that belief and prove it wrong. This is how you begin to reclaim control over your life. The more you do this, the stronger you become. Each time you choose responsibility over excuses, you build confidence. You trust yourself more because you know you are doing what needs to be done. You stop waiting for someone else to give you permission or show you the way. You become your own leader, your own guide, your own source of discipline. When you take ownership, your entire perspective changes. You no longer see challenges as problems. You see them as opportunities to grow. You no longer avoid discomfort. You embrace it because you know it is part of the process. You stop fearing failure because you understand it teaches you more than success ever could. You stop looking for the easy way because you know the hard way is where real strength is built. People will notice the difference. Not because you talk about it, but because you live it. They will see that you are consistent, that you are reliable, that you do what you say you will do, and eventually they will trust you. They will respect you. Not because you demanded it, but because you earned it through action. This is how you change your life. Not with talk, not with excuses, not with waiting, but with ownership. Full ownership, ruthless ownership. The kind of ownership that says, no matter what, I will show up. I will do the work. I will take responsibility for my path and my results. And when you do that consistently, day after day, you become unstoppable. Not because life gets easier, but because you get stronger. Not because challenges disappear, but because you learn to rise and face them. That is the power of ownership. That is what separates those who dream from those who do.